audio marks coming to you from the Sachem Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Jared, and Joe, the four horsemen of wrestling podcast. Four casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, marks of all ages, are you ready? Because...
You know what? You just made the list.
And welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am one of your hosts, Carl C.J. Jones. Call me CJ. I don't know why I keep saying Carl.
Yeah, why we've been doing this podcast for how... You've been doing this podcast for how long now?
I've been introducing myself as Carl for literally the past 2 months, and I don't understand why. I don't understand.
It's a sign you're getting older, CJ, is what it is.
I know. It's just, ugh.
And you're much more mellowed out already, I can tell. I mean, it's probably going to get, much worse as the show goes on, but it's good to know you're at a low starting point.
I'm trying, you know, we don't have our handlers today. Jimmy's off work, and Jared,
right, yeah, I'm here.
Yes, Jared is getting...
See, the whole thing, I was going to come in and do the Jew Age Outlaws intro, but only Road Dogg's here. So it's kind of hard to hype up Billy when Billy's, not here.
What an ass.
Wasn't Billy the one who got busted for drugs when they came back the second time?
Does this mean Jared's going to get busted for drugs?
I mean, I'm not dropping any hints, but if there was anyone on this podcast that was going to have a little side business, I think we all know who all the signs point to.
Yeah, Jimmy, who runs the Party City.
Well, Jimmy's I think his life beyond this podcast goes deeper than any of us know, even you.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Whatever. All right, so we don't got a lot of news from last week, but there are two things that we really want to bring up before we go into our takeover and Royal Rumble predictions.
Because there's a lot of them.
Holy crap.
There is so much. I think we're gonna have a lot of the same stuff, but we still gotta hammer on through. So I guess you'll be reading Jimmy's picks and my picks, of course, in case you all have been under a rock since November. Our picks will represent me and Jared. So I'll be doing our picks as a one unit, and I guess you'll do the.
Did you eat him? Is that where he is? Did you eat him?
I mean, I prefer not to answer that without a lawyer present.
Okay.
Because in some circles that's not allowed. So. Still getting through all the legalities of it. But this is the first time in 3 weeks that I've been in the studio?
It's been a while, yeah. Well, the thing is, you weren't here for last week because Jimmy forgot to let everyone know that it was 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the week before, and the time before that was the Marquis.
Right, yeah.
So you only missed an episode.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because, she's like, hey, the podcast is at 10. I'm like, well, it's 9:45, and I just rolled out of bed with a hangover, so I'm going to take a knee on this one.
Wow. All right, so Jimmy just threw in his takeover picks last minute. Thank you, Jimmy.
Well, we still don't have a format in the document to put the takeover predictions in. I think Jimmy just forgot takeover existed.
I think we all did. Let's be real here.
I mean, Jared and I made the picks, but,
It's not going to be that hard, but we just got to... I don't know if you know how to make a table on the thing.
I mean, I've used a little bit of Google Docs.
Oh, all right.
I mean...
No, it's not. If not, it's fine. We'll just, I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I mean, if anything, you can just, put the list of them above where the current Royal Rumble picks are now, and if we have to schmoz the table together later.
We'll schmoz it later, All right, so let's get into the two big things. But first off, because I know Jimmy will kick my ass if I don't bring this up, February 9th, come see Full Faith Wrestling. You get to see Impact Hall of Famer Abyss there. They're coming to the Long Island area February 9th. It is a Saturday. Tickets are $15. Mike Magnum is a good friend of Jimmy. I've never met the guy. I've been trying to get an interview with this dude for the past year and a half. Waiting on that interview, Mike.
It's probably why he's still good friends with Jimmy, because he hasn't met you yet.
Fair enough. Don't meet me, Mike. So that's coming out February 9th. Supposed to throw that shout out, so yeah, there we go. Woo! Oh, and we're getting a website too, so we gotta actually write shit, bro.
Oh man, but I thought my whole thing was of writing were done. Once I switched to a broadcast journalism major.
I know. I thought writing was done for me after college, but jokes on us. But so
no jokes on me. The power strip that I've had my laptop charger plugged into for the last 5 minutes is not plugged in. So
you dumbass.
Now I'm going to have to go ninja style on this table here.
Nah, he's just getting on his knees, but he's used to it. But yeah, check out our Marks for Life podcast website. It's coming soon. We'll let all y'all know through social media.
Do we have to like take pictures of ourselves to put up there? Because
Yes.
But I'm warning you, it will be brought down for the site because there'll be so much traffic trying to look at my face.
I thought you were about to say the site was going to be brought down because of your weight.
That may be true, but those are high load servers.
That's fair. Don't worry. I'm going to break the camera.
Well, that's obvious. You have a face for radio if I've ever seen one.
It takes one to know one. All right. So, let's get into the two big topics we want to talk about. I know Joe was not here last week. We had a huge discussion about All Elite Wrestling, run by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. Joe, what are your thoughts about this?
Vince, you better be careful, especially if the rumored TV deal with TBS or anyone else comes to fruition, because you're looking at a situation now. You have WWE. Impact is still not a competitor. I don't even the Pursuit channel, is that what it's called now that they're on?
That's a channel.
Apparently, I mean they've been finding channels that in the TV guide I didn't even know existed. So, but if you can get All Elite Wrestling onto one of the Turner networks, whether it's TBS or TNT or whatever, that's big news. And obviously, guys, respect Cody and the Young Bucks. Now you have Chris Jericho signing there. They're trying to poach some talent over from WWE. The thing that really caught my eye the most about all this is that WWE is willing to double any offer that a competitor brings to any superstar currently under contract.
That shows a lot of fear. And I know I talked about this last week, and I've talked about this on many occasions, how scary the Elite is. And at first I originally thought it was Bullet Club in general, but it's really the main component consisting of Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page. You could throw Marty Scurll in there. They really brought Bullet Club to new heights. And I talked about this last week, and I want to know your thoughts about this. I brought up how the Elite were bigger than New Japan and Ring of Honor. They're the reason that they were selling tickets. They were the reason that, they became bigger than a stable. They were a brand. And now that they are a brand, where do you think this is going to lead Ring of Honor and New Japan?
I mean, the fact is that they were able to go out on their own and get financial backing from a major investor. Shad Khan, he is one of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the fact that someone with that kind of financial power has the kind of faith in these guys to put their own product out there, it shows you how much they've really taken the wrestling world by storm in the last year and a half, 2 years. Now, New Japan, I think, is still fine, especially because, that area of the world they pretty much have on lockdown. Ring of Honor was always kind of a niche audience. It was like, it's quality-wise, it's better than Impact. It's probably better than WWE quality-wise, but their exposure, even with those guys being as big as they were, their exposure on national television still hasn't grown to a big enough height. So I think Ring of Honor kind of already has their foundation in place. They know what they are. And I think New Japan's going to be okay just because, they really have that corner of the world is just completely monopolized by them.
I brought it up that WWE never viewed Ring of Honor and New Japan as a threat. Even when they were combined, they were never really viewed as a threat. I think the only reason why they ever got mad at the Ring of Honor New Japan alliance was when they invaded Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. And even so, they were more mad at MSG rather than Ring of Honor New Japan. The fact that they're scared of AEW like that, they're doubling down on contracts, they're not letting anyone release. There have been rumors with Maria Mike Kanellis. They have rumors with The Revival, Dolph Ziggler.
Who now, because of all those release rumors, might be getting a huge push. So that maybe that...
Oh, The Revival?
Because the rumor right now going around is that WWE is going to try and pump up their tag team division because that seems like something that All Elite's really going to focus on. But... because if you're WWE, if you're Vince McMahon, a guy like Seth Rollins is probably going to stick around for a while. You have core guys there that you're not going to lose to All Elite Wrestling. But some of them is marginal talent who we know can carry a really good match like The Revival or like Mike Kanellis, but are being misused on television that could go elsewhere. And you could even see something like the 205 Live division possibly get gutted by All Elite Wrestling because these guys want bigger exposure.
Jimmy did bring that up last week. And a lot of them, not all of them, because I could see, again, Mustafa Ali graduated to the main roster. I could feel like Buddy Murphy would do well in a mid-card role. Same with Cedric Alexander. Jack Gallagher, possibly. Brian Kendrick. I could see talent like Hideo Itami leaving, or Grand Metalik.
It's like we laugh at, everyone's like, when WWE was like, oh, it's, we have a new era and you're going to give you everything you want. It's still the McMahons, but when it boils down to it, I think Vince McMahon and Triple H, or maybe Triple H more than Vince McMahon, saw this coming. They saw All Elite coming and they were like, you know what? Let's reshape the product a little bit. Let's give some of these guys and girls a chance in a bit of a bigger role. The fans want to see more of the Revival. Let's give them more of the Revival.
Yeah.
Let's kind of Mustafa Ali, I think, is a big part of that because I think now a lot of fans, we've called for it on this podcast before as well, to have 205 Live crossover. So, and now you see Samoa Joe kind of getting more of his heat back under him after having really a weak summer with those losses to AJ Styles. So,
Yeah.
Or a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura could really.
Nakamura could probably benefit from going to All Elite.
I think he could because he's getting older, and WWE clearly showed from the Royal Rumble win that was completely wasted and the 5-year feud with AJ Styles that was completely wasted that they really don't have any plans to push Shinsuke to the top of the card.
Now, something I wanted to bring up to you, and I brought up to Jimmy, that a couple other stars that I could see leaving would be stars like Bobby Roode. I could see
Possibly.
leaving. And especially if James Storm goes to AEW, because I feel like he'd be a great fit. Because you already have Christopher Daniels there, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, as well as other fantastic athletes like Pac. You know him as Neville,
Right.
which is huge to get.
Plus, you have a guy that was already so pissed off at the WWE machine.
Yeah.
So he's going to probably come in with an even bigger chip on his shoulder. To be like, hey, you chose Enzo over this, and Vince, we still curse you over it to this day.
What do you think of the business platform with AEW? Equal sliding scale pay. Well, no, equal pay that's not on a sliding scale based off of gender. They're trying to talk about getting a union health benefits type of thing. They're also talking about they're also giving a lot of money. Chris Jericho said that this contract that he has currently is bigger than anything WWE has offered him previously. Plus, it's for 3 years. What do you think about all the business decisions?
It's a lot of the things that a lot of people, and now a guy like Ryback has been complaining a lot about the wage scale issue. The wage scale issue, I think, it's interesting from a point of, sure, you can have, if you want to have everyone start with the same base salary, that's one thing, but obviously someone like John Cena or Seth Rollins is going to sell more merchandise than a Buddy Murphy.
Well, that's fine. If
So
you're a main event talent, you get main event money.
Right. So if you stack it, right, if the base salary is the same, but you have like incentives built in, for being able to, make certain shows and being able to draw certain ratings for your promos and all this stuff. If you can have, say if you have something like that built in where the base salary might start off the same, but someone who is utilized a lot more and is a lot more talented might get a better pay scale, and the people who the fans like and are buying their merchandise can get a cut of that as well.
That's what I'm thinking and stuff. Something else I wanted to bring up, health benefits, union. What do you think of that, too?
That's something that you've been hearing about a while, the whole wrestlers unionizing, because, and we've seen it right now where people get injured in the WWE all the time, and when they come back, there's not always, a grand storyline waiting for, like when Kevin Owens comes back, something's going to be waiting for him. But you have someone like Ty Dillinger that has been left sitting at home now for months. He was injured a little bit, and now you have, what's going to happen with the Bludgeon Brothers when they come back. There's always that question of what's going to happen when you come back. You're just going to get left in the sidelines. So at least if you have the benefits of, money coming in and having your health expenses covered, you don't have to worry about, well, I just came back from this year-long injury. They have nothing for me now. I can't make any more money.
Yeah. And I know WWE is trying to copy them in a similar regard, because I'm not sure if you read that report, but WWE, for those of you who don't know, is changing their contracts. The way that's being rolled out, especially with the new TV deals, they are going from, They're going from a house show style basis to a more TV rating. And they're going to be signed to, like, I remember reading the article on, I think it was Bleacher or another wrestling site, but they're changing the payoff, the contracts.
It's even the presence of All Elite Wrestling, whether the company fails or not, is something in its own right. Just the fact that their presence is there as someone who can take your talent, offering, even if they're not offering more money, they're offering a better package and a better way of life.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lighter travel schedule too than what WWE is currently doing.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So it's going to change the landscape of the business a lot, because now you're going to have people that, they're going to be attracted by those big ones. That's why WWE is going to try and make things better so that people don't try and leave.
I just found the report. So, according to reports, WWE is telling their talent that new contracts will include substantial pay increases after the new TV deals start later this year. Several superstars have already been told that the new contracts will be way up once SmackDown Live moves to Fox Network and the new Raw USA Network deal begins in October. Reason for this increase is that with the business changing from a house show live event and pay-per-view driven business model to a TV rights driven profit model, always don't make sense. The discussion of the contracts being more of a typical sports style contract where you're signed for a regular figure and anything you earn above that is a bonus or contracted merchandise percentage.
I think it's a lot smarter because, the house shows are still important, but even though people complain about the WWE product today, they're still raking in money hand over fist with between merchandising deals and now these 2 new TV deals coming in. And now, what was the goal always for the network was to get above, 1 million subscribers. They're way above that now. Mm-hmm. They have a substantial group of people that are tuned into the network. There's also now the rumor that they're actually going to up the network price $1 to $10.99, which is a much less catchy t-shirt slogan.
Yes, it is. I don't know if I would get it then if it's $10.99.
I mean, I think it's still worth it for the basic fact that you don't have to spend $50 a month to watch a pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely. And
I've been binge watching the Royal Rumble matches, which is a good feature to have as well. So
yeah, that's true. Last thing I wanted to bring up regarding this topic. You mentioned billionaire Tony Khan, right? He's in charge of. What's he like? I know you're very familiar with his sports endeavors. Or you're more familiar about it than I am, at least with like football and stuff. And how has that been? Because I've heard that like ever since he's taken the Jacksonville Jaguars, their winning percentage has gone down and stuff. What do you think? Well,
that organization is an issue all in itself. But he's kind of someone that he's got a ton of money, and that's the first thing that talks. Is he's had so much money now, and the Jaguars they're a franchise that's been much more paid attention to. Their ticket sales have gone up. They were just in the AFC Championship game last year when they lost to the Patriots. So they're kind of, they're getting a little bit more recognition.
Okay.
But I think when you have someone that's, rooted in the sports world, being a main backer for your company, he knows these connections. We're like, hey, I've been working with these guys with this wrestling promotion, and they know what they're doing, and it could help with someone. Turner Broadcasting, not really, because they're more into it with the NBA, but a bigger television network might see that someone with this kind of recognition is behind this, and if they see it doing well, they might be able to kind of jump in and be interested.
And even so, like you look at it, and my thinking is that a lot of people are worried about how he's going to manage it. I think he's just going to be the bank.
Yeah,
he's not going to have any real dealings.
Well, he's not a professional wrestling. He doesn't really know the business too well. He's not going to get
But you have Cody Rhodes and Young Bucks, which on their own sold out a 10,000 seat arena with under 30 minutes. So
and they already have huge name talent looking to work for them before they even open their doors.
Yes, which leads me into my I know I said last question before. I know we mentioned the Revival. We mentioned Dolph Ziggler, Maria Mike Kanellis. I'm going to throw Goldust there because he was rumored as well. I brought up Bobby Roode, James Storm. Who do you see going to AEW?
I think Shinsuke Nakamura is a name that I'm going to keep an eye on, especially because, he's now lost the U.S. Championship. He really doesn't have a place on SmackDown Live. Maybe they have something kind of bigger planned for him. I think the fans were more willing to cheer for him as a face. I feel like he's lost a lot of steam since that heel turn. And I think he's someone to keep an eye on if they really don't have anything big planned for him after this WrestleMania season. But guys like the Hardy Boys, I mean, if Matt fully says that he's healthy, which it seems like he is, the rumor right now is that their contract expires the end of WrestleMania 35, but WWE can pick up an option on it, which I'm sure they'll do to try and keep them away from AEW. But guys that are kind of on the fringe right now, someone like Bray Wyatt, could be interesting to see if he would make the jump as well.
And what do you think AEW needs to succeed besides what they're doing currently?
I think you need. I think your first show, All In, obviously was a huge success. I think it's time for you to follow up again. You know you're going to sell the place out, but follow up with something with a show just as good. You know you're not going to have the same incredible depth of talent just because there were so many guys from all over the world that wanted to be involved in All In. But I think Chris Jericho is going to be a huge part of their success because he's the veteran. He can still work a great match. You know, he can kind of help with that, with the storylines and the promos and stuff. So I think having someone like him aboard is really going to help them kind of keep everything in order.
Yeah, because a lot of people are worried that they might turn into something similar to what TNA did and just take a whole bunch of WWE guys, which I think they need to do. Like, they need some casual name recognition, but they can't push them. You know what I mean? So if you're going to have Chris Jericho, have him in an upper mid-card role. Don't have him lead the company. Because you could have something that could be detrimental. You know, you want to push the new talent. You know, don't always leave the belt on Jericho. Personally, I think also if they grab anyone, grab Rob Van Dam. Because he's always capable of having a great match, even at this age.
Well, the thing that killed TNA was they not only did they jump on old WWE guys, they paid them. They paid Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff really was what really brought that company down. You gave them so much power and just so much money. And you went to Monday nights and that didn't work. And it was just, you had so much money tied up into those guys. And, you know, guys like Booker T, Kurt Angle, pretty much anyone that had name recognition.
Well, Kurt
you just
Angle
grabbed.
came before all that, though. That's the thing. Kurt Angle and Christian came way before that. You know, they came like 4 years prior to Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff coming in.
If you can avoid, if you taking WWE talent's fine, but pick and choose who you take. Find a specific style that works with the roster you get. So if you want to have like these athletic 5-star matches, don't go and try and sign, you know, Lars Sullivan or the Big Show, someone that big.
Or Ryback.
Right. Don't sign someone just because he has name recognition that totally throws off the chemistry and the product that you're trying to put on the screen.
I think they need to have a lot of different talent as well. And I think like another one they could try and poach would be Bully Ray. And I feel like that would be a great way to do it too. Because you also need these guys to help because they know what it's like to be in that scenario with a TV deal, with that pressure and stuff. I feel like, and helping grow an organization. You have Chris Jericho, who was part of ECW, as well as Bubba Ray Dudley. You were, you know, those two names, they were part of ECW, WWE, and in Chris Jericho's case, WCW, and they helped build those companies as well. They really added to it. So that kind of knowledge, you need to grab those kind of veterans as well that are willing to put over younger talent and also be able to help grow the business as a whole. So,
yes, I think they're off to a good start. I just want to see, you know, get a nice full deep roster. Don't, you know, exhaust your bank on too many top name stars and then not be able to spread everything out.
yeah. But I know, Joe, you wanted to bring this up, right? With the next topic?
Yeah, so obviously the report now from Dave Meltzer earlier this week that there was an expectation that Ronda Rousey could be done with WWE after WrestleMania 35, which would only be a year-long run for her. But she has now come out. Now, she didn't really... the claim was that she was going to try and take some time off or leave WWE entirely to start a family with Travis Brown, who is her husband, who's also an MMA fighter. But she kind of came out and said, you know, it's my business, what I want to do with my body. And it answered the question, but it didn't really. It's going to be, obviously, you know, Royal Rumble leading to WrestleMania. We know, you know, how we've seen how the cards are kind of falling. But, you know, even if she wants to take some time off from WWE, it could have a huge effect on how they book her at WrestleMania.
Yeah. But there's been rumors going back with this since last year about her having only a year-long deal. Because that was given out by Ric Flair.
Right.
Because he spilled the beans about that last year and stuff.
Yeah, according to the WWE source, she's under contract through April of 2021. Now, we don't know if it's built into that deal where she has some time off coming up. We really don't know, you know, because obviously it started off with WrestleMania where you had her in the tag match. You built it up to the Raw Women's Champion. Assuming she goes into WrestleMania with the title and retains, you know, what happens to her after that? Or if she goes to WrestleMania with the title and loses the title, what's going to happen to her? So I think if she, you know, if there is time off coming in, you could see her drop that belt at WrestleMania.
And I think that might be good in general, too. Keep her fresh, keep her interesting, too, you know.
and build up the rest of the division while she's gone.
Yeah, because she really did bring exposure, and now that she helped them bring him to that height, she could take a step back and let them continue on that role.
I could see, even if she's not trying to start a family right away, I could see them kind of giving her some time off until the Fox deal kicks in, because they said that that she was going to be a main part in really expanding the marketing on that. So they might give her some time, a few months to kind of heal up, maybe train a little bit on her promos, get herself, situated, and then put her back into the spotlight in time for the Fox deal.
Or have her come back as a heel and have Paul Heyman lead the 4 Horsewomen against Ric Flair and the 4 Horsewomen of...
I was like, Ric Flair and the 4 Horsemen will have Arn Anderson and Tony Blanchard trying to take bumps.
Oh, no, I would like to see that.
All right, you're going to take... one of you guys is going to take the double knees from Sasha Banks and explode on the mat.
Oh, poor Sasha. Oh, happy birthday, Sasha.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy what happens 24 hours from now.
Oh, she's going to get wrecked.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're spoiling too much of a prediction on that one.
All right. So we're going to go into the NXT TakeOver predictions, then take a break, and then we're going to go into the Royal Rumble. So.
And now, of course, my laptop's having trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi, which means I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
That's fine.
So I guess you'll just have to log mine and Jared pace as we go until I can get this bad boy back on.
I I'm no better right now.
I mean, if anything, I'll just read them off, and then when I get home, I can update the format.
Yeah.
From my laptop at home. But, yeah, so 5 matches.
5 matches on the card. So, in a singles match, we have the King of Bros, Matt Riddle, taking on Cassius Ohno. For the NXT Tag Team Championships, we have the Undisputed Era being represented by, what was it, Kyle O'Reilly, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong taking on Hanson and Rowe, the War Raiders. You have Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. You have the North American Championship being defended by Ricochet against Johnny Gargano. And finally, you have the NXT Championship match between champion Tommaso Ciampa and challenger Aleister Black. Let's start up from the bottom of the card. Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno, they already had their matches, right?
Yeah, and Riddle has won both.
Then why are we having this?
Because I guess even NXT TakeOver has to have one dud in there somewhere. I guess they had literally nothing for Matt Riddle to do.
All right, so where do we see Matt Riddle going from here?
Well, I'm assuming you and Jimmy are both taking Matt Riddle.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I got to get Jimmy's list out because...
All right, you're taking Matt Riddle?
I'm going to take Matt Riddle because I just feel like it just makes sense, and Cassius Ohno is just a punching bag.
Exactly. Jared and I both feel the same way. We're taking Matt Riddle. I could see him entering the North American Championship picture.
Yeah.
I could see a feud with someone like him in the Velveteen Dream being good. He has options. Just get him away from Cassius Ohno as soon as possible.
What's Cassius Ohno could probably do well in AEW as well.
How long? He's been in NXT, 3 years now? And still hasn't been called up?
Since the first WrestleMania TakeOver. So I think...
So was that 2016 or 2017?
2016.
So, yeah, that would be going on 3 years.
Yeah.
And he was in NXT for a little while, then took a break and came back.
Yes.
So he's really kind of just been in NXT, kind of spinning his wheels. He hasn't been called up. I don't know if he will be called up.
I wouldn't call him up. Personally, I would rather see him go to AEW, and I would like to see Cesaro leave and go to AEW. Well, you got the Kings of Wrestling there too.
Well, you need to, in my opinion, as hot as the bar are right now, I feel like Cesaro needs a singles run at some point if you're going to keep him.
Exactly. I think otherwise they're both better off leaving. But I see Riddle winning. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, he's new. Cassius Ohno does not need this win in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, even if something screwy happens, but... we'll call it Matt Riddle. I mean, I'm assuming Jimmy's not crazy enough to take Cassius Ohno, but he has surprised me before.
He has surprised me before. But I was actually looking at the Royal Rumble predictions last year. I was actually the only crazy one to pick Balor. For as much reasons as we shit on Jimmy, I also picked Balor to win the Rumble. So...
I mean, Jared and I both correctly picked Shinsuke Nakamura, so...
Well, so did Jimmy. I was the only one that picked Balor. So... It's,
Yeah, we kind of sweep. You still retained after that, though.
I did still retain.
Like Jimmy picking Balor was the start of his downward spiral.
Well, thing is, you were supposed to get the belt, but, it just never happened. So we just ended up adding up all the points to WrestleMania to crown the champion.
Yeah. Well, because, Jimmy... You picking Balor, you still retained your belt. Jimmy picking Balor was at the beginning of his WrestleMania downward spiral.
Yeah.
And he ended up further in the toilet than last week's breakfast.
But he'll get there. He'll
get there.
one day.
We're slightly
underdog story.
We're slightly more willing, Jared and I, to put Jimmy over because he hasn't held the title yet, and he just he's like friggin'. It's like Johnny Gargano. Like, come on, just put a belt on him. Just he's been here long enough. He's been taking the hits.
Oh my God, Jimmy! If you're listening, you're gonna punch us in the face. All right, next match we have the NXT Tag Team Championships. Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong representing the Undisputed Era, taking on Hanson and Rowe of War Raiders. Who do you got? Because this one's a weird one.
This is a weird one because now the thing that tripped us up is with Jared and I, we were expecting at least one title change on this card.
Yes.
And our thought process was the Undisputed Era has been champions for over a year now. They have run, well, almost a year it seems like. They had that little blip in the middle with Mustache Mountain, but they've run through almost the entire tag team division in NXT at this point. They've done everything they can. We're taking the War Raiders.
You're taking the War Raiders?
War Raiders are undefeated. They're the new product. I think it's going to be good to get them a run with the titles. I could see Undisputed Era taking it back at some point, but I think we're going with the War Raiders because it just seems like the Undisputed Era has done just so much, and the War Raiders also got the win in War Games. So.
I know Jimmy is taking Undisputed Era, which I could see his point too. I don't even have to look at it to see, I could see his logic clearly. There's going to be a smashy finish, and then they're going to take the titles at WrestleMania because that's exactly what they should do.
Well, no, what's probably going to happen is it's because it's NXT. There's going to be a schmoz finish on a random NXT taping 2 weeks before WrestleMania. The War Raiders will take the titles. That's what happened with Mustache Mountain.
You know what I can see doing? I can see schmozzy finish. Because I want to see this go into WrestleMania with the tag belts, too. And I can agree with Jimmy with that. But who gets the smudgy finish? Because I want to see Bobby Fish punch Kyle O'Reilly in the face. This one's hard. This one's really hard.
It's hard because, you could also see the rationale for stringing into Mania. Because if the War Raiders win, then
they get the rematch.
Gets that rematch.
I'm going to go War Raiders. I feel like that's the smart pick right now. Because especially with the War Raiders...
If it was anyone else but the War Raiders, I probably would take Undisputed. But the War Raiders are red hot right now. They seem like the future of the NXT Tag Division. You already cleaned out some of the weight. You got heavy machinery out of there. So,
well, what are the tag teams they have? They have the Forgotten Sons. They have the Street Profits. That's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that. I mean, I'm sure this is not going to be the end of the feud. I'm sure whether War Raiders or Undisputed win, it's going to go into.
I think War Raiders are going to be the ones that send Undisputed Era packing to the main roster.
That's my rationale. I think they'll beat them once, and then if they come back for the rematch right before Mania, then that's the final death nail, and then Undisputed moves on from there.
That I could see. All right, so Jimmy's got Undisputed Era. Joe, Jared, and myself have War Raiders. Now let's go on to the NXT Women's Championship match. We have Shayna Baszler taking on Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is undefeated, but Shayna Baszler not only is pretty much the queen of the women's division there, but she also has Mashira Schaefer, Marissa Schaefer, and
Jessamine Duke.
I'm really mad that I can't pronounce the name.
Shafir. Melissa Shafir.
Is it Melissa Shafir?
Yeah.
Are you positive it's Melissa?
I'm not positive it's Melissa, but I'm positive that's pronounced... I don't even know anymore.
I'm going to look up Marissa Shafir. But
I know it's pronounced Shafir, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to throw my hat towards... Marina Shafir.
Marina Shafir.
Son of a bitch.
I was just texting you, yeah.
But
wow, we are awful individuals.
Yeah, I know.
Please, if we ever see her in a dark alley somewhere.
Well, you're going to die.
Oh, yeah.
We're all going to die.
We'll see all three of them.
I'm putting my money on Baszler. I can't see Baszler dropping it to anyone but Candice LeRae right now.
Yeah, we also are going with Baszler because she's the hot thing right now, and eventually I agree with you that Candice LeRae is going to step up. But right now, I think Bianca Belair's a good story, but I think she might get her face smashed in.
Jimmy's throwing his hat in towards Baszler as well.
Okay.
So I think Bianca Belair, she is the future, but I don't know if it's right now. I think she's similar to a Velveteen Dream, where she just needs a little more time.
I think it will. I think she'll put up a great underdog showing.
Yeah.
Only to fall short in the end. I think that could see.
I just want Shayna Baszler to pull her hair and try and do a submit. I would like to see her choke her out with her own hair.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Shayna Baszler, I think, will head up to the main roster because I think they will pull the Four Horsewomen card eventually,
Yeah.
especially if they're not sure how long Ronda's going to stick around. I think they're going to. I could see that being a SummerSlam feud even,
Agreed.
or Survivor Series feud.
I think it'd be Survivor Series main event.
So I think I'm agreeing. So we're all in agreement here, taking Shayna.
Now let's go into the NXT North America Championship title picture. We have the champion Ricochet defending against Johnny Gargano. Jimmy and I, we're throwing our head towards Johnny just because I feel like he could hold down the mid-card division, and this also frees up Ricochet to go challenge Tommaso Ciampa, go to the main roster. It kind of frees him up.
We are taking Ricochet.
Really?
There are two reasons. Number one, we were under the impression that one title, and it was between Tag Team and North American, was going to change hands. So we took the War Raiders to win the tag title, so based on that logic, we're taking Ricochet. But the other logic is Johnny Gargano, in our opinion, is going to make the journey back to babyface at some point in the near future. And if he's already got the loss to Aleister Black, if you put him in this match and he loses, he can now walk out on NXT TV and say, oh, I've been trying to be the hero of my own story the last few months, but I've now realized that the only way I can complete my story is to finally beat Tommaso Ciampa. And I think Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano will be the main event for TakeOver Brooklyn. Was it 4?
Yeah, I'm thinking I can agree with that, but I could see him losing the belt too. Like Johnny, like having the belt, seeing that he's right, and then it just costing him. And I could see that story playing on because I'm loving heel Johnny. And I think Ricochet, Tommaso needs a challenger right now for Mania. And I could see that being Ricochet. Ricochet taking on both of them. Ricochet takes the belt off of Ciampa. Ciampa taking out Gargano. And then, and I could see that ending with like a career, like a loser leaves NXT match. And I want it to be at like NXT TakeOver. I'm not sure they're having it in Chicago again. But 2 years from when they last had their match. When the turn happened.
I can see it. I just think we think that the turns just come a little bit earlier. So
yeah, it's gonna happen. It's just that's the weird thing with NXT Takeover because I think Gargano needs a win. I think he really does need a win right now.
Yeah, but also think about what kind of relief he's gonna feel if like the first title that he wins in NXT is him finally beating Tommaso Ciampa and taking the NXT Championship.
I don't know. I think it's a really weird situation.
Because we all know that they're just going to piss on him and Ciampa as soon as they call him up. So.
Gargano should not have been challenging for the North American Championship. He should have been in the NXT title picture for this. But
that's another reason why I think he's not going to win. Is I think he's basically being put in there with Ricochet to have a 5-star match. So I think it will be a 5-star match. And have a big name challenger for Ricochet to knock off. But I think his destiny is the NXT title picture. I just think he's someone that you can't saddle down with the North American not to diss the North American Championship, but you can't hold him down with that for too long.
No, I understand. That's just a hard pick. It's just a really hard pick.
I think part of it was just like there's no way. We thought there's no way both are changing hands, which means our luck, both Undisputed Era and Johnny Gargano are going to win. It's going to flop, and we're going to fall 2 matches in the hole. That's just the way our luck goes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then finally we have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Aleister Black, NXT Championship. Me and Jimmy have Ciampa.
As do we. I think Black is coming to the main roster sooner rather than later.
I'm scared if he comes to the main roster.
Oh, so am I. But it's going to happen. Oh, please, Vince. He's small. He's got tattoos. He's got a killer entrance and music. He's got a great finisher.
CM Punk?
Just don't fuck him up.
He's going to look at him and be like...
So we're going to give you Cult of Personality as your ring music. No. It's just going to bury him. Fans are going to boo him. It's not going to work.
Oh, my God.
We're gonna have you face Brock Lesnar. No.
Your name's going to be CM Black now.
You're going to be MC Punk. Oh, my God.
Oh, speaking of name changes, Andrade dropped his name. What the fuck?
Because remember, they love shortening names. Alexander Rusev, Antonio Cesaro, Adrian Neville. Apollo Crews, they even jumped into the Crews for a while. They just call him friggin' Apollo. Like, no. I know you don't want friggin' Corey Graves calling him Apollo Creed anymore, but Apollo's just stupid.
What's next? The Miz is gonna lose
yeah. Miz. Oh my.
It's Miz.
Yeah, it's gonna be Matt Hardy. It's Matt Riddle, Hardy. I mean,
Morgan.
Give me something.
All right. So totaling our picks for NXT TakeOver, all of us have picked Matt Riddle to defeat Cassius Ohno. In the NXT Tag Team Championship match, we have Jimmy siding with the Undisputed Era, as well as Joe and Jared and myself siding with War Raiders. We have Shayna Baszler, all four of us coming out on top with her, defeating Bianca Belair. Jimmy and myself, we are taking Johnny Gargano in the NXT North American Championship match. Joe and Jared are taking Ricochet. And then we have, all four of us have Ciampa retaining against Aleister Black. So we're going to take a quick break, folks, and then we're going to go straight on into the Royal Rumble predictions.
TNA heavyweight title and sacrifice between you, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. Now, before you get there, you have an important step tonight as you and X Division champion Petey Williams take on the unlikely duo of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and two-thirds chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and two-thirds percent, I got 141 and two-thirds chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie.
All right,
Oh,
we
they
need a
don't.
new commercial, but that's always great.
If you wrote that entire promo out on an algebra test in 10th grade, would you get points? Like, I feel like you should get points.
I think I get partial credit.
I mean, maybe your teacher's a wrestling fan. You get lucky.
Oh man, Chiaramonte?
Yeah, that's probably your only hope.
Oh my god.
He'll ask you something about the Spanish Inquisition. You'll just go into that promo.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm a history teacher, but A+. All
A,
right.
because you remembered that, and B, because you knew I liked wrestling. So it's double dip.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view
I think I finally got the connection. There
live
you go.
this Sunday at the Phoenix Arena. I don't know if it's actually the Phoenix Arena.
It's not the Phoenix Arena.
The
but
Phoenix Arena.
It is Chase Field.
That sounds so much worse than the
It's
Phoenix.
where the Arizona Diamondbacks play.
The dinosaurs, Arizona, whatever. So in the all right, so for the Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show, it is going to be a fatal four-way being contested with champion Buddy Murphy taking on Hideo Itami. Who else is fucking in this match?
I
Cedric
got it written
Alexander.
down. It's all right. It is Buddy Murphy defending against Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto.
Oh, Kalisto?
So no Cedric Alexander.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was in the match too, and I'm like, no, wait, he's not.
All right, so that goes. That shows how much we care. U.S. Championship is also going to be defended on the pre-show with Rusev defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. On the main card, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championships being defended by Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, against the best in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. We also have being contested for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We have Asuka defending against Becky Lynch. The Raw Women's Championship, which is Rowdy Ronda Rousey defending her championship against Sasha Banks. We also have for the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar defending against Finn Balor. And for the WWE Championship, we have the new Daniel Bryan defending the championship against the real AJ Styles.
That which I called the matchup of the week Twitter handles.
And then we all, of course, have the men's and women's Royal Rumble, which we are going to do for the end of the podcast. So let's run down our picks, see what's going on. All right. So for the Fatal 4-Ways, right? Yeah, the whatever that's called.
The Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweight Championship match. I'm with you, CJ.
Yeah. Buddy Murphy?
Yeah. Because it's the pre-show, and he's still kind of running his thing, so yeah.
Oh, Jimmy didn't. Oh, yeah, he did. Wow. All right. Jimmy picked Hideo Itami.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It's on the pre-show, so I think Murphy's retaining just based on that rule. Titles very rarely change hands on the pre-show, but
Well,
Yeah, more power to him.
you know what? I could see him winning too. Like I think he has a good shot. Like, but I just don't see it.
I guess if you had to take someone other than Buddy Murphy, I think Tommy's not a bad pick, but I just don't see it.
Are you gonna be the record keeper right now?
I'm filling in just in a bare bones way the
Okay.
NXT Takeover picks. I'm just kind of writing down what everyone has, and then we can kind of do the table later.
Okay. All right. So we all have it except for Jimmy. He picked Hideo Itami. Do you think Hideo Itami's gonna get a championship on the main roster?
I mean, he should, but
Do you think it's gonna be in the form of the Cruiserweight Championship?
if he's getting a championship, it's going to be the Cruiserweight Championship. That's for sure.
Do you think it's gonna be at the Rumble? Because I think Buddy Murphy's doing an excellent job right
Oh,
now.
100%. I think he's going to keep that title. I mean, I'm sure there's probably going to be another type of entertaining multi-man match at Mania. Wouldn't be shocked, but I could see Tommy getting it at some point. I like you said, CJ. I think Murphy's doing really well with the title. I don't see a reason to take it off him.
I think the only other logical choice for this match would be. Oh shit! It would have been Mustafa Ali. I don't know how the hell.
It would have been Mustafa Ali or Cedric Alexander, but neither one of them are in it.
Oh man, the Cruiserweight division's in such a shithole. All right, next up we got Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship.
Jimmy, we can finally pick Rusev.
Yes.
You can finally pick Rusev and not get us. Well, we're still gonna laugh at you for other reasons, but we can actually pick Rusev as a group.
We're all gonna pick Rusev with this. Congratulations, Rusev. You got our pick.
So for once,
Yeah, because Shinsuke's not gonna win the belt back. If anything, if Shinsuke's gonna go anywhere, not AEW, it's gonna be Raw.
yeah, I can see that.
Because he's been neutered on SmackDown. But I could definitely see Rusev keeping the belt. So we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We have The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the best in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. Who do you got, Joe?
All right, now I can
Fudge Jew.
keep the
Cool.
records now. I'm caught up. Okay, we are taking the best tag team in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. Our rationale is we think they're going to win the championship based on some kind of fluke thing. At some point, one will turn on the other and probably have a Mania match. I think it's going to either happen on SmackDown or at a Elimination Chamber. Or is it two pay-per-views after this before Mania or just one?
Elimination Chamber.
That's it.
I don't know if Fastlane is coming.
Yeah, that was the one thing. So if it's Elimination Chamber, whatever the February/early March pay-per-view is, I think that there's going to be a turn around that time between Shane and Miz, but WWE likes to throw the ball at what's not going to stick and at the hot, fun thing. So, yeah, it's going to... Plus, they love to just keep ringing up title reigns for the Bar, so they probably haven't taken it again. But, yeah, we're taking Miz and Shane.
All right, so Jimmy picked The Bar.
Yeah.
Which I can respect, and I really do respect that, because they really shouldn't lose to this guy.
They shouldn't. Look, Jared and I, we didn't pick what makes sense logically. We picked what made sense as to what's going to happen. Just like Shane McMahon didn't have to win the Best in the World Cup. Do we have to go back to the damn Marquis? We know what happens here.
All right, so Fastlane is coming up on March 10th in Ohio.
So is it? But there's still, we know the Elimination Chamber is happening. So is that? But they're both going to be dual brand. What's the point of that?
I don't know.
They're both going to be two dual branded pay-per-views.
I don't know, but like
it made sense when it was Raw one, SmackDown the other, but
see, I was gonna pick The Bar, and then I just looked at it. I saw where Fastlane was, Cleveland, Ohio,
and a perfect place for Miz to turn on Shane.
For
Shane to turn on Miz, I mean.
Yeah.
And establish that heel turn.
Fuck. I don't want to do this, Joe.
Neither did we.
I don't. Oh, best in the world, Miz and Shane McMahon.
Because there was a time where I texted Jared, and I was like, okay, so the Bar going to win, right? And he's like, no. You know what's happening. I go, I do. I just don't want to admit it.
This sucks. Oh, man. Jimmy, we hope you're right.
Yeah.
We really do.
It's like the freaking Natalia Ruby Riot pick at TLC. We're all praying. Even Jimmy's praying that he's wrong, that Ruby's going to win that match. And she did, thank God.
Thank God
She
she
didn't put Natalia through a table with her father on the top of it. God.
Ugh.
Yeah, we feel dirty for it, but it's... So, yeah, that's... Yep.
All right.
Next up is Ronda versus Sasha.
Yo, Ronda.
Yeah. So, I'll build it up though. Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. CJ, who do you got?
Oh, I got the Money in the Bank winner, Alexa Bliss.
Sorry, you just not hold the briefcase anymore.
Oh.
So Jimmy was not sipping on Jack Daniels when he made these picks. He did pick Ronda, as did we. This was as much of a slam dunk for us as Matt Riddle was. So
I think this is the first time Jimmy has picked Ronda Rousey.
yeah, because he was like, no, it's gonna be a schmazzy finish, and Lex is gonna get disqualified somehow. I'm like, no, stop it. We all just shook our heads.
Oh man, I think Ronda's gonna murder Sasha. Do you think Sasha's pants are gonna go down again?
I guess that's one thing we can look forward to, but this is gonna be bad. There's gonna be purple hair dye just splattered all over the ring.
So there's 2 more matches in between, 2 more pay-per-views between. Oh shit! There's 2 more pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So we already put out the Ronda and Nia fire, so that's over. Assuming Sasha gets destroyed, what happens for the next 2 months?
Okay.
I could see Ronda not defending Elimination Chamber only because the focus is going to be on the women's tag team titles.
I'm waiting for Ronda versus. We can also see Ronda versus Ruby.
Maybe.
I'm also pushing for
Ronda versus Natty.
Bailey.
No, I'm not pushing for that. She's going to die. Hug me, Ronda. Oh, God, she's getting an armbar. She can snap her arm.
I want Ronda versus Bailey. But the fact that there's 2 pay-per-views now that I didn't realize really screws me up because now I'm thinking like,
who's Ronda going to face?
Yeah!
I could see Ronda versus Ruby. Like I said, I could see her not defending at the Chamber just because the focus is going to be on the tag belts.
Yeah.
So next up is the other women's title match, Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Asuka has to win.
Asuka has to win. The only thing Jared and I were thinking was that Becky might win the match, but not the title.
I don't
But
think
the argument could be made that if Becky wins the match in any fashion, then she's going to require a rematch because she technically beat Asuka, and you want to get her towards Ronda as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So it might, by hook or crook, Asuka's winning this match.
I think it'd be Asuka's gonna win the match. Yeah, as much as I want to go. By the way, fuck you guys. Becky won like so many awards for 2018. So fuck all of you.
Bailey's still a better wrestler. Okay, so
No, she's not.
next up we have Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE title. Jimmy has taken Daniel Bryan.
I'm gonna take Daniel Bryan. The new
As are we. A sweep for Daniel Bryan.
Who do you think he's gonna swing against at Mania? Because there's rumors that are about Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Mustafa, Cena, Michaels.
Would love to see Jeff Hardy get that spot, but I could see my original thought before the best tag team and what they have would have been Bryan versus Miz in a face versus heel swap.
Yeah.
But I could see Mysterio because, he's like, oh, Ray, your people eat burritos and that kills meat. And I don't know. It's going to be some weird promo and
Tacos. Do you know what they put in tacos?
yeah, 619. Why so many numbers, Ray? Those are killing carbon emissions. Oh,
Okay,
God.
All right, what do you guys think of Daniel Bryan right now?
It's still not sticking for us.
Really?
Jared and I agree. It's just not sticking.
Is it just because I'm just enjoying?
You hide behind a mask. Yeah, that's the first promo. I already wrote it.
I just enjoy it because I'm just like, he's just an annoying little man. Like he's just like, ah.
Yeah, so we're all taking Daniel Bryan.
All right. So before we go into Jimmy's pick with Brock Lesnar
Versus Finn Balor for the Universal title. I
All
love
right,
it.
so-
I love his pick.
So Joe, what did Fudge you pick for this?
Brock Lesnar.
Really?
And we picked him rather decisively.
Okay. Now is that like even with the demon paint?
Yes, I think I fully, wholeheartedly believe that Brock will be the first one to beat Demon Balor.
But there's
But
also
I don't think
report-
I don't think Demon Balor's gonna show up.
That's what I've heard too.
He's gonna be straight Balor.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Lesnar too, just because the last couple of times I bet against Lesnar, I lost.
I picked Roman Reigns both times. We know how that went. And I picked Braun Strowman. Well, I was gonna pick Braun Strowman if we actually did picks, but yeah. So I picked Roman Reigns against him twice, and it didn't work either time. Also, shout out to Roman Reigns. He's getting a new.
He's a fucking actor now.
He's getting a role in Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spin-off film. So good for him. Looks like he's doing well.
Yeah.
Glad to see he now has an Instagram.
He looks like Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Well, no, I saw the Aquaman commercial. I'm like, Roman? Oh God, Aquaman's getting booed now.
Of course.
But yeah, so
Right.
good to see him doing well, and he has an Instagram now officially.
Good for him. Good
So
for him.
good to see that. So yeah, we both picked Brock Lesnar. Jimmy picked Finn Balor with a question mark, so
I think he's doing that.
I think he's doing it sarcastically or just like Finn Balor.
No, exactly, because I think it's like his thinking isn't the man Finn Balor, it's the demon.
I'll say this. I give the man Finn Balor a 0.5% chance of winning. I give the demon Finn Balor like a 5% chance of winning.
I feel like the demon Finn Balor has as much of a chance as AJ, Punk, and Daniel Bryan.
That's why he wanted this match.
And Brock requested him too, which is crazy too. But I think that
because he's now realizing that men of the same size as him can't put on good matches with him.
if he decided to freaking
Sell?
yeah. But I think he also just enjoys it just because he likes beating up the little guy. But going back to it, I think that the demon has a great shot. But the thing, you know what I mean? I think the demon has a great shot, similar to something like AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, where they're believable in a way, but you feel it in the back of your head that Brock Lesnar is just too much of a beast.
Exactly.
You know.
No pun intended.
Oh yeah.
So we're taking Brock. We're assuming that Jimmy's gonna be actually putting in Brock at some point.
You know what? I'm enjoying Jimmy's picks because I'm really hoping for Jimmy's picks. As much as I want the belt, I just want Jimmy to have it.
Just because it'll the world will be a better place. Finn Balor will be Universal Champion.
Jimmy will have a belt.
The bar won't lose to Mrs. Jim McMahon. Natalia gets put through tables with her dead relatives on them. Jimmy, a world where Jimmy's right just has so much promise, doesn't it?
Oh my God, Jimmy, what did you do?
Okay, so we are now going to go on to the Women's Royal Rumble. We're in agreement we're ditching the first two entrants.
Yes, so the Women's Royal Rumble, we do have add-on picks to it. So each pick is going to be a point. And I'm going to go into them for you guys. We have the Iron Man spot, which is also whoever lasts the longest, the most time in the Rumble. We have the Santino spot, which I'm dubbing it now.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
Well, last year was the Sheamus spot.
Oh, yeah.
He had dumped by Heath Slater in 3 seconds.
Yeah, but it will always be the Santino spot. So the Santino spot is the shortest time in the Rumble. We also have the Kane spot. I know that Kane no longer has the record for the most eliminations in a single Rumble.
Doesn't Braun?
No, Roman.
I thought Braun got...
No, Roman's still at...
He's got 12.
Yeah, Braun has the most Elimination Chamber eliminations.
Okay.
Because he was in a 7-man.
I know he went on the tear last year, but I think there was only 6 or 7 eliminations. So
yeah, but I'm giving it to Kane because Kane is that's his thing. So the Kane spot is the most eliminations. We also have the return spot for a returning superstar, maybe injury, maybe from hiatus. We have the legend spot, which could be a one-off deal, could be it could be something similar to a return. The difference between an WWE wrestler and a WWE legend is very apparent. We also have the NXT spot, which could either be a one-off, a debut, so on and so forth. We have the Final Four predictions. The Final Four men left or women left in the Rumble. And then we have the winner. So let's get down to
we'll start with the women. That's what Jimmy has listed first, so
let's get into the nitty-gritty of it all.
So we will start with the Iron Woman spot. Jimmy has taken Natalia. CJ, what's your... who are you going with?
Okay, so this is Charlotte's first Rumble.
Right.
Her daddy's first Rumble, he was number 3. Charlotte's gonna be...
Oh, I know, because every Rumble match I've watched has been JBL and entry number 3 going, Ric Flair entered this number in 1992 and he won it. I know JBL.
I'm gonna throw my hat to Charlotte because
Charlotte?
I feel like they're gonna give her that number 3 spot in homage to her father and then have her go the distance as such.
See, now, Jared and I kind of have a breakout star for each Rumble as our Iron person. Our Iron Woman for the Women's Royal Rumble is Ember Moon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ember Moon, I think, is going to have an incredible showing in the Rumble, only to fall just short to our eventual winner.
Okay.
So, Ember Moon, we think, if Ronda is taking some time out of the spotlight, whether it's to go to a lesser feud or to take some time off, Ember Moon needs to be built up as a credible threat in the Raw Women's division. And they've basically been saying they haven't had Ember Moon face Ronda because they don't want her to get killed. So I think you're going to need to build up Ember and give her something while Ronda's doing her thing. So we're taking Ember Moon.
That's a good pick. I appreciate that one. I just feel like Charlotte's just a good... It's a good bet. Especially because they are building up Charlotte and or Becky to face Ronda. So I feel like they need something with that. What's next? We got the Santino spot.
Yep, the shortest time. Jimmy's kind of technically picked 2. He picked the Iconics.
You know what?
So he's gonna have to pick one. I mean, they could get both dumped at the same time.
Let's be real here. Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him.
If it's one of the Iconics, we'll give it to him.
Let's give it to him.
All right, fine. So Jimmy has the Iconics. So if Billy Kay or Peyton Royce are the shortest one in the Rumble.
Well, the thing is, I did this last year when I did the Iconics as the NXT spot. So I already did I already did it. So, I can't say anything. You know what I mean?
All right, fine. We'll give it to him. Jared and I are taking Dana Brooke.
Son of a bitch, so was I.
We were thinking, like, all right, who's confirmed that's not going to be a lot of time? I'm like, Lana? No, it's Dana Brooke.
I was between Dana Brooke or Alicia Fox.
Yeah, that could happen too, but yeah.
But I'm like, Alicia Fox always gets more of a push than Dana.
Right. Dana is just going to get dumped by someone.
Oh, my God.
Either a legend or someone, like, kind of big, like Charlotte's going to dump her in, like, 3 seconds or whatever, so.
Yeah. All right.
So shortest time, yeah, okay.
All right, so we got the Kane
This is the
spot
most
next.
eliminations, yep.
Most eliminations.
Jimmy has Michelle McCool, so I guess that kind of reveals one of his legend picks. But he did not pick Michelle McCool for his legend spot. I'm not going to say who he picked yet. But he did pick Michelle McCool for his most eliminations.
Well, the thing is, Michelle McCool has the most eliminations currently in the Women's Royal Rumble.
But there's no guarantee she's even going to be in the match.
Again.
It's a hell of a hedge of a bet here, Jimmy.
I know.
If number 30 comes on and Michelle McCool still hasn't shown up yet, I'm like, well, Jimmy already loses by default.
Hey, man, look, we didn't expect Michelle McCool to get the record either, so I'm throwing my hat to Nia.
As are we. We're Jared and I are taking
Hedging
Nia
my
Jax
bets,
as well.
'cause-
Because they're going to say even more, we don't give a fuck about the broken face thing, and we're just going to steer right into the skid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I'm putting my bet on Nia, because I feel like that's a smart pick.
Because she's going to tear through, and it's going to take like 6 of them to get rid of her, so.
Yeah.
So, the return, Jimmy has taken Eva Marie.
Jimmy!
Everything.
I gave you respect!
No wonder why he didn't want to be here for the picks. We'd be laughing at him the whole time. Because basically it was either you, Jared, and Jimmy did this morning, or me and you were going to do it in the afternoon. So maybe that's why Jimmy was pushing so hard for the afternoon spot.
Oh, man. But, damn it, Jim. Why?
Jimmy, come on. We gave you the leeway to finally pick Rusev on a pay-per-view, and this is how you freaking come back with it.
Oh, man.
Wow. So Jared and I are taking Nikki Bella.
Really?
It just seems like I think she could be considered a return because I think she could have something to do with WrestleMania. So, and she's always around when anything important with the women happens. She was around for Evolution. She was around for the first Women's Royal Rumble. It just makes sense. And she still has Total Bellas, so.
You know what?
I think she's more likely to step back in than Brie,
I respect that, and I want to pick that. But I'm just going to throw my hat out there. Victoria.
Okay.
Because Victoria hasn't done... what is Victoria up to nowadays? Like, I feel like...
I haven't even heard anything from her.
I think that she would be a good pick to come into the Royal Rumble.
Just because she's so under the radar right now?
Yeah, and she would... Because they need pops like that, too. And you can get that with some legends. But I feel like Victoria would love to be part of
Because she was
something.
one of the ones who didn't do it last year.
She didn't do the Rumble. She wasn't there at Evolution. And I don't think they have a bad relationship, Victoria and WWE, right?
I think there was talk that they were going to bring her back for Evolution, but it just never came together.
That's why I'm thinking. It was either Victoria or I picked Lita. But I'm like...
Yeah, Lita could happen again. Lita was one of the considerations for Jared and I as well. We had a couple different ideas for the legend spot, but we went right to Nikki Bella for the return. But the legend spot, we had a few ideas.
Nikki Bella's also like a really good pick.
And because she's a Bella, they're probably going to friggin' make her look incredibly strong.
Yeah. Okay, so she's currently in Maryland right now? So
it's kind of close to Phoenix, right? It's close enough.
I think she could fly there by tomorrow. And if she's not, she's not, but like...
All right, so Victoria. All right, and next up is the NXT spot. Jimmy has a repeat from last year, Kairi Sane, as his NXT pick.
I don't have Kairi.
We do not have Kairi either.
I'm throwing Shayna in there.
Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, I'm thinking Shayna's going to go on a tear in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Did definitely happen. We do not have Kairi or Shayna. We are going with Toni Storm.
How did Jimmy not pick Toni fucking Storm?
She has the NXT UK Women's Championship now, and she has the Mae Young Classic win.
She
and
does.
When Kairi Sane won the Mae Young Classic last year, she was in the Women's Royal Rumble. So I think Toni Storm has just been like the hot act. And I think you need to get, in at least one of these matches, a little NXT UK involvement.
I think they might do multiple NXT spots. In my personal opinion, they might do multiple, so we might both get it. But no,
all three of us could get it, because we didn't not pick Kairi Sane because it wasn't a smart choice. We just didn't know if they would go back to that well for a second year.
Yeah. But I'm going to throw my money towards Shayna. I think Shayna's... And I think it would be really cool if you have Shayna Baszler, and then, like, if Toni Storm does come out, Shayna versus Toni, and they have that stare down.
Yeah, that would be good. So next up is the legend spot. Jimmy has Trish Stratus.
Who do you guys got?
Trish Stratus as well.
Same.
We were thinking... The other two options we had were Lita and Ivory.
Ooh,
Because Ivory for another reason, just like Victoria, she wasn't involved in any of it last year except for Evolution. So.
Well, yeah, Ivory was in Evolution, which was... You know what? Fuck it. Can you change my Victoria pick to Ivory?
Victoria to Ivory?
Victoria to Ivory. Because I want to see Ivory again. Watch, Victoria's... keep it to Victoria. I'm going to be mad if it's not.
Watch, it's going to be neither and it won't even matter. Or it'll be both.
Yeah, just... I'm going to be mad if I change it, because I know Jimmy was like that too. And that's that was the biggest reason why he was wrong, that Evolution.
So yeah, we're also... So for the legend spot, it's a clean sweep for Trish.
Yes.
Yeah,
And now,
clean sweep for Trish.
we're going into the Final Four. And now how the Final Four works is that each correct answer is worth 0.25 points. So if you get all 4 correct, you get a full point.
If you get 3 out of 4, you get 0.75. 2 out of 4, obviously you get a half. A quarter if you get 1. And if you get nothing right, then...
Nothing.
Well, then you're screwed because you're automatically your winners in your Final Four, so you must have really just missed the boat on this one.
Yeah. So my Final Four, it is Charlotte Flair,
Okay.
Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, and Carmella.
Okay, so now you and Jimmy are both betting that Becky Lynch enters the Rumble and loses to Asuka. Because Jimmy's Final Four is Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Ember Moon, and Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. So Jared and I have a very similar Final Four to Jimmy. But Jared and I went on confirmed and who we thought was going to show up. Because we're like, we don't want to pick Becky for our Final Four because if she doesn't enter the match at all, we're already kind of handicapping ourselves.
Yeah.
So our Final Four is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella. So it's kind of a hybrid of your two guys' pick.
I don't understand why Jimmy did. Maybe Jimmy didn't think, but like the number 30 spot was confirmed.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing is we think they're going to do more for Carmella in the third spot than they will for Truth.
Yeah.
So one of them is going to mean nothing. The other one's going to mean a decent amount. So we think Carmella, based on the fact she's coming in 30, will end up in the Final Four.
I think. Oh yeah, Becky's not going to be number 30. I think she might show up as the 27 spot.
Yeah, because that's like the lucky spot for the men.
Yeah, I think they might throw that in for her because there's no way. Because if Becky's not in the match, it's already foregone. I think they're going to give it to Becky, like put Becky in the match to give it that kind of unpredictability. That's what I'm leaning towards right now.
Our idea was that whoever didn't face Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Rumble was going to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
So between Becky and Charlotte. So if Charlotte faced Asuka at the Rumble, then Becky was going to win. And if Becky faced Asuka at the Rumble, then Charlotte was going to win.
Yeah.
So we're kind of sticking with that.
All right. So the
So if Jimmy's winner, obviously, because it's for is Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Who is your winner? Because you have Charlotte and Becky in your Final Four. So.
I do. See, I want to go Becky, but I also know Charlotte's smart money right now. Who are you picking?
We are taking Charlotte.
That's what I figured. I feel like if I don't pick Becky, I'm going to betray her.
But you feel like if you don't pick Charlotte, you might lose.
Exactly.
And what means more to you, Becky or the belt?
Because it's a coin flip.
It really is.
It's a fucking coin flip.
It's even worse of a coin flip because for the first part of the coin flip is Becky going to enter the match, and then is she going to win?
Becky.
Becky.
Because I'm hoping to God that it just ends up that they both fucking win.
Yeah, like the friggin' Lex Brett spot in '94.
Yeah, which is a huge possibility.
But we would all get kind of credit for it because we're right.
That's fine. That's fine. I just can't betray her like that.
So before we run through the men's Rumble quick, so I'll do the recap.
Yeah.
Longest time, Jimmy has Natalya, CJ has Charlotte, and Jared and I have Ember Moon. Shortest time spent, CJ and Jared and I, the Santino spot, have taken Dana Brooke. Jimmy says the Iconics. The Kane spot, CJ and Fudge, Jew have Nia Jax. Jimmy has Michelle McCool. So again, he's hedging his bet that Michelle McCool even enters the match.
Damn it, Jimmy.
So
you
on
have
two
time.
separate picks, he's
tied.
hedging his bets on people that might not even enter the match. He's really
Jimmy,
getting
you
ballsy.
are tied. That's the thing.
He's getting so ballsy. So then the return, CJ has a Victoria, Jared and I have Nikki Bella, and Jimmy has Eva Marie, all red everything.
Jimmy.
In the NXT spot, we have Toni Storm, Jimmy has Kairi Sane, CJ has Shayna Baszler. In the Legend spot, we all pick Trish Stratus. The final four for CJ is Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, and Carmella. The final four for Jared and I is Charlotte, Carmella, Ember Moon, and Alexa Bliss. And Jimmy's final four is Becky, Charlotte, Ember Moon, and Alexa Bliss. CJ and Jimmy have Becky Lynch as the winner. Jared and I have Charlotte. So let's go into...
No, wait. I have a question before we continue. How mad is Jared going to be if he loses by 0.25?
That's going to be... It's going to be even worse than Nicholas. Will be even worse than Nicholas.
Because he started that. That's the thing. So if he loses
So, like,
by
we might get the winner right, but just because one of our final fours is wrong and you guys have the right final four, you might get a point up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where I'm like, poor them.
It really is. So, the men's Rumble spot, obviously same props as before.
Yes,
So,
we have the Kane spot, the most elimination, Santino spot with the shortest, the Iron Man spot, which is the longest time in the Rumble. We have NXT spot, Return, Legend, Final Four, and the eventual winner. So what do we got first on the list, Joe?
First on the list, again, is the Iron Man. Jimmy has taken someone that Jared and I actually thought about a decent amount, Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, yeah, because he did last at 62 minutes, which was...
Because remember, in the last few years when Jericho was in the Rumble, that he ended up lasting a long time. So I
Yeah.
can see, we thought about him as a veteran.
I'm going to give it to Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, especially after that gauntlet match. I feel like he's going to get that same treatment as Mysterio did, Michaels, Benoit, and just run the gauntlet.
It's quite possible. Now, so that means Jared and I have been an under-the-radar pick. We are taking the latest victim of WWE's name-crunching, El Idolo. We are taking Andrade.
That's fantastic.
He is our breakout star of this Rumble. A lot of the reason we picked him was a similar reason why we picked Ember Moon. We think Vince is very high on him. If anyone but Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins and and Drew McIntyre, if those guys weren't gunning for the spot, Andrade would have a serious shot at winning this thing. Mm-hmm. So we are going to take Andrade because they're so high on him, and it seems like he could be given that kind of spot.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
So now the Santino spot, Jimmy has taken Heath Slater. Solid pick.
That is a great pick.
That is a really good pick.
I'm gonna go with the former Raw General Manager, Baron Corbin.
It's not an awful thing because they've been burying him.
I'm going to give the shout out to my dad with that because I was talking to him about these picks last night. And I was like, I think it might be Kurt Hawkins. He's like, go with Baron Corbin. I'm like, that's such a good
Kurt
pick.
Hawkins might last because they're trying to do the whole Major Brothers reunion.
I'm so hype about
that.
that.
I loved it. Jared and I were watching Raw together, and I'm like, watch this. Revival's going to jump Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder's going to save him. Major Brothers reunion. As soon as the jumping comes, I'm like, yes. Yes. Good.
Yo, I think it'd be Baron Corbin, though, because they've just been shitting on him so much. They just got to give Baron something.
Now, this pick kind of makes us feel bad, but remember, I kind of hinted at this when they said the 30 spot in one match is going to mean absolutely nothing. It's going to be R-Truth. Oh. He's going to come in and be like, what's up? I'm number 30, and then bam, and he's out.
I have something completely different, but okay.
Don't tell me he's in your final four. Oh, God, no, we'll get to that, but oh, God. Okay, the Kane spot, most eliminations. Jimmy has Bobby Lashley.
I'm gonna throw Lashley in there too. I think they're gonna push him up with that, especially after the IC title win. They're gonna give him something. He's gonna go on a tear too.
It's possible. We are gonna take Drew McIntyre.
He was a solid pick too.
The Scottish psychopath. I think he is gonna get something huge going into Mania. And I think the best way to do that is just have him run roughshod and be eliminated very late, but get some eliminations in there.
I just see Bobby. I don't know. I think Bobby Lashley's gonna go on a tear too, and then I don't know. There's a lot of toss-ups with this too, with the Royal Rumble, which is great.
That's what's making it that we actually, we won't have a lot of the same picks. So now we have now the return spot. So before I go to Jimmy's pick, it's a something. What are you going for CJ?
All right. So at first, I was hedging my bets on a Bray Wyatt return. I think I'm gonna lean it towards Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
I think he's gonna be solid. I think he's gonna actually, because I think they're like hinting that he's not. I think like they're just like, oh, there's reports he's not gonna be able to make it, but I think Kevin's gonna come back, eliminate Lashley, and that's gonna be the IC title picture for the Mania.
It's possible, yeah. So our return, we are hedging our bets on Bray Wyatt. It just seems like he came back for Starrcade. He really hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the whole deleting of the tweets and everything. We just think it's the right time to just bring him back into a pop.
I would be okay with that. I would be okay if Bray Wyatt came back.
Okay, his return is Jason Jordan.
Stop it, Jimmy!
The pick of the Marks for Life draft comes back to bite us in the Rumble predictions. Jimmy has taken Jason Jordan to return. Oh God, what are you doing, Jimmy?
You know what? If Jimmy gets Jason Jordan right, just give him the fucking belt.
Do you want the belt? Well, no, we won't have to just give it to him because at this rate, if he's right about Jason Jordan, he's gonna be right about fucking Eva Marie. He's gonna be right about everything else. I want you to be sitting there like, oh my God, like Jimmy had this Rumble pegged.
I don't. Oh my
wow.
God, Jimmy.
Jason Jordan.
I didn't look at some of his picks. That's the thing. I scrolled quick.
I scrolled down some of when he gets to the legend. I'm gonna turn my laptop from you because I want to get your genuine reaction when we get to the Legends pick. But okay, the NXT spot, his pick's fine here. He's taking Aleister Black.
I'm throwing Velveteen Dream.
As are we. We are also gonna go with the Velveteen
Stop
Dream.
it. Look,
we're being smart, and Jimmy's just going balls to the wall. He's like, fuck it, I never win these things anyway. Might as well be really right or really wrong.
Watch, he's gonna get all the singles matches, like clean sweep, takeover, and Royal Rumble, and then he's gonna lose because of the Royal Rumble picks.
Yep, it's probably. I can definitely see it happening. Okay, wow.
But like, Velveteen Dream's not doing anything for Phoenix.
Yeah, he's got nothing on the card. Yeah, and he get a great pop.
Oh, please.
Oh, it should be Velveteen Dream. The original guy that I had, I actually didn't have. I didn't have Aleister Black. I was thinking Lars Sullivan.
I was thinking Ricochet.
I thought the loser of Ricochet and Gargano could also enter.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Lars Sullivan as well because he still hasn't made his debut.
Lars is such a wild card. And
CJ just gave his mic the Glasgow kiss. But yeah, it's just the whole anxiety. Now I read a report from Triple H that not much has changed as far as his plans. So, but we'll see.
He could still theoretically versus John Cena. I feel like someone else should go to that spot instead.
If Cena even has a match, because the whole movie thing.
Yeah. Oh man, I watched Blockers like last week. That shit was funny.
That was a solid movie. I watched
it. Holy crap! I was dying laughing. If you guys never watched it, watch it. It's pretty much John Cena and two other parents just trying to make sure that their kids don't lose their virginity on prom night.
It's a solid one.
So good.
So before we finish up, we have the 3 picks left, the Final Four, the Legend, and the winner. But you and I, quick chances of a Kenny Omega debut.
AEW.
I think he is going to go to AEW, but it just sucks because the number 30 spot is pigeonholed already.
Yes.
If number 30 was still open, we could have so many possibilities. But,
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he shows up. That'd be great. But
yeah.
So the Legend spot, we're gonna save Jimmy for last.
Okay.
So I'll take the lead on this one first. We are gonna go. We were between 2. We were between Woken Matt Hardy and Kurt Angle.
Oh, Kurt
and
Angle.
We are going with Kurt Angle.
Okay, that's a good one.
I was really pushing the Matt Hardy train, but in the 11th hour, Jared and I were like, we'll go Kurt Angle.
All right. So I didn't know who to really pick for my Legends, and I'm going to, again, shout out to my dad for this one, because I forgot about him completely. The Animal Batista!
Batista would have been in my thoughts if Triple H wasn't still hurt.
I think he could still go, though. I think it would be interesting to see him pop up for the Rumble.
Like I said, if we knew that him and Triple H could happen still, then I probably would have picked him, but...
I'm throwing my hat in with Batista.
So, Jimmy's Legends pick... Jake the Snake Roberts.
He's copying my shit. I did that last year. I picked Jake Roberts.
I mean, I can't give him too much. I picked the Road Dogg last year, and that was a complete whiff. But, yeah, he has Jake the Snake. Now, mind you, Jake the Snake Roberts is a year older than he was when you picked him last year. So, does he just not want this belt? Or is he just trying to make the Royal Rumble just go into just total chaos?
Well, he left it down to the 2 of us.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's why he didn't want to be in the studio, because we were looking at some of these picks, like, Jimmy, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, Jim, why?
Jake the Snake. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go into my final four.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm not going to... I like saving Jimmy's picks for last because I feel like they're always fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I got Rollins, McIntyre, Ambrose, and R-Trizzle.
Oh, my God.
Yo, give R-Truth something, man. I am so for R-Truth.
And we gave him something. We gave him the Santino spot. Jared and I
He
did.
does not deserve the Santino spot. He deserves to be in the final four.
Maybe by default, maybe McIntyre,
No.
Ambrose, and Rollins will be fighting in the final three, and they go, "Oh wait, there's a 30 spot. It's our truth."
That's
and
what
by
I'm-
default,
I
it'll be
am
a part of the
hedging
final four.
on that so hard. You have no idea.
I'm gonna be rooting so hard for at least for more than 4 people to be in that ring when number 30 comes out, because then it's like it's not happening. But if it's like 28 area and there's only 2 or 3 people in the ring, I'm like, oh my god,
R-Truth's in the
no.
final four. But I didn't know who else to put in there. I had those 3, and then I'm like, I guess I'll throw Ambrose in there.
Yeah, okay.
Because Ambrose is he's always a good bet to have in
Yeah.
there.
So we are going to go with Jimmy's final four is actually not that fun. It
Okay.
actually is. It's normal. So our final four is Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, like you had.
Yeah.
We're going all in on the Iron Man pick. We're taking Andrade and Braun Strowman.
That's if Braun Strowman even enters the match.
No, I think he is entered.
No, he's not.
I think he will enter.
Well, depends on his elbow injury, too.
I mean, he flipped the damn car on Raw and then had a match with Finn Balor. I think he's okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then I got nothing.
Yeah, so Rollins, McIntyre, Andrade, and Strowman. So, and Jimmy's picks are Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Dean Ambrose, and Rey Mysterio. He's doing the
so
same
he's
thing we did.
Very similar, too.
He put his Iron Man in the final four, just like we did. So that's, yeah, makes sense.
No, definitely. All right, so we
And then
have a
his
lot of
winner-
similar picks.
And then his winner is Drew McIntyre.
Ooh. As much as I'd love to see McIntyre and Brock, I don't think we're going to get it.
I don't think we are either.
I'm going to go Rollins.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, because I think Rollins it's just a better pick, and I think that Drew and Brock, I think we're probably going to get Drew versus John.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or, if Cena's not versing Bryan for the championship at Mania, I could see it being Cena versus McIntyre. It's just, as much as I want to see McIntyre versus Brock, I gotta give it to Rollins.
If the match was still McIntyre Strowman, Lesnar Strowman, then
McIntyre would-
Strowman winning and facing McIntyre as the Rumble winner would be interesting.
Yeah.
But since Braun was moved from that match and replaced with Finn, we just went with our gut with Rollins.
It's such a toss-up between these two Rumbles. And for you listeners, you could hear that. You can hear how much we were trying to go back and forth with this.
You can hear how much Jimmy just wants to just shatter the realm of the Rumble as it is.
I can't with Jimmy.
I'm disappointed. I'm also entertained.
I'm very entertained.
So we'll run through the list quick before we close up because, of course, the Sage and Public Library is closing soon, so we want to get this out finished. So the Iron Man spot, Jimmy takes Rey Mysterio, CJ has Seth Rollins, and Jared and I have Andrade. In the Santino spot, CJ has Baron Corbin, Jimmy has Heath Slater, Jared and I have R-Truth, no faith in number 30. In the Kane spot, Jimmy and CJ have taken Bobby Lashley. Jared and I take Drew McIntyre. In the return, Jared and I take Bray Wyatt. CJ takes Kevin Owens. Jimmy takes Jason Jordan.
Damn it, Jimmy.
In the NXT spot, CJ and Jared and I pick the Velveteen Dream, and Jimmy picks Aleister Black. In the Legends spot, Jared and I pick Kurt Angle. CJ picks Batista, and Jimmy picks Jake the Snake Roberts. In the final four, it is CJ with Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Dean Ambrose, and R-Truth. Jimmy is Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Dean Ambrose. And for Jared, it's Braun Strowman, Andrade, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. And CJ and Jared and I picked Seth Rollins to win the Royal Rumble, and Jimmy picks Drew McIntyre.
This is still close, though. That's the thing. It's very close. I think where Jimmy's going to falter is his hodgepodge picks.
Yeah, his freaking Jake the Snake Roberts and Eva Marie picks. I can already count those two as a negative.
And Natalya being the Iron Woman.
Screw it. Why don't I just bet on freaking Eddie Guerrero being a surprise entrant?
Chavo?
Chavo. Oh, God. Chavo's number one? Why? Hey, look, it's the British. It's David Hart Smith.
Oh, my God. Tyson Kidd?
Am I the only one that's hoping for a one-off oddball return like the Hurricane was last year? Just be like, who's number 15? Dun, dun, dun. It's Doink. See, for like a split second, I wanted to convince Jared that we should pick Kane as our legend return pick, just because he might as well just like stroll in there.
Oh yeah, and then be in there for the most consecutive amount of time to beat out Chris Jericho.
Like Jared, like yeah, but you'll be. I'll focus so much on Kane that Kenny Omega will show up like, but Kane came, but Kane's here, Kane's right there.
I'm excited. What are you excited most about this weekend?
Honestly, I mean, Takeover is going to be great, but I feel like the two Rumble matches have just so much intrigue surrounding them. Who's going to fill up? As for the men have 10 spots remaining, the women have 7.
Yeah.
So who's going to fill up those spots? You know, NXT Takeover card is unpredictable enough to we could see some crazy stuff. I mean, you know, the return of Kane is obviously, you know, we're putting our bets in on that one now. But I told Jared, I'm like, if Matt Hardy returns and Kurt Angle does, I'm going to kill you because we were going to take Matt Hardy. And if that's the reason we lose, because he wouldn't listen to me on Matt Hardy.
Yeah, because then Matt Hardy would come out and then, like, talk to Jeff Hardy and stuff. And
the one thing I said to Jared, I'm like, they should have Matt Hardy come up, but not as woken Matt Hardy, as Matt Hardy version 1.
Oh, with Shannon Moore?
And have Bray Wyatt come up to him and be like, my woken brother, you have been rehabilitated. And he's, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Who's this bearded dude talking all this backwards English to me?
And then you have Bray Wyatt in a comedy skit. So it's like, what happened? And then it just shows flashbacks of him going into the reincarnation and like of reincarnation. Oh, I don't want that.
Husky Harris and Matt Hardy version 1 in a tag team at WrestleMania.
That'd be terrible.
Edge comes out of Sexton Hardcastle.
Oh my God! You have Christian come out as the vampire.
Oh God, we'll just hammer it home.
Oh man! All right, so these are our thoughts, Audio Marks. Let us know what you think, and until next time. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sachem Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audio Boom, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Deezer, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the big 3, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Marks for Life Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram at Marks for Life Podcast, our Tumblr page, Marks for Life Podcast, and our Facebook page, Marks for Life Podcast. And email us at marksforlifepodcast@gmail.com for any comments, questions, or feedback. Until next time, Audio Marks.